Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this opportunity, we would like to present our paper about analysis of income distribution as prevention of environmental damage in the agribusiness management of Cassava in Bengawan Solo Watershed, Wonogiri Regency. And this is our team. Consists of Prof. Endang Siti Rahayu, Mrs. Setiawati, and me, Risa Rahmadriyati. Let's start with our introduction. One of the SDGs goals is to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, and the poverty results in high socioeconomic burdens for society, low quality and productivity of human resources, as well as the decline in public order. The roots of poverty are dependence, isolation, vulnerability, and low life expectancy. The Bengawan Solo watershed is the longest river in Java Island with an estimated river length of 548 kilometers and divide this into two provinces, namely Central Java and East Java, one of which is in Wonogiri Regency. Keduang sub-watershed is one of the sub-watershed in the Upper Solo watershed as the largest contributor to the erosion rate of the silting of the Wonogiri reservoirs. The condition of the catchment area is of concern, especially the high rate of erosion and decreasing productivity of land, causing the phenomenon of the socio-economic condition of the community to be in poverty status. So, therefore, the cassava agribusiness as a type of crop in the cropping pattern is important and urgent to be matched into income and distribution related to resource and environmental management for the sustainability of the Wonogiri reservoir. So that, departing from that tool, this research was conducted with the aim of first, knowing the income distribution or income gap among cassava farmers, and second, looking for solutions to increase cultural values in preventing environmental damage related to the management of cassava agribusiness in the Bengawan Solo Wonogiri watershed, which indicates environmental damage in land degradation and erosion, which leads to silting of the Wonogiri reservoir. Here with the methodology that we use in this research. First, the basic research method used in descriptive analytic methods, which aims to focus on solving problems that exist in the present, and the types and source of the data were used in this study are the primary data and secondary data. That collection using questionnaire methods and in-depth interviews that were conducted on respondents who were taken by simple random sampling into district in the Keduang sub-watershed area, namely Ngadirojo and Jatipurno districts, and then data were analyzed with income analysis and income distribution analysis by looking for the Gini index value and depicted by the Lorenz curve. So the results of the study of the area of land managed by farmers for cassava agribusiness based on the ecosystem. Example, Tagalan years or rain-fed rice field, which is the Tegal area is about 0.26 hectare, and rice fields about 0.22 hectares, and years about 0.19 hectares. The location of the moor is spread over 3 locations: 2 fields of rice fields, 2 plots of yards, so that seen from the distribution, the average of respondents has two small plots of land and is spread out with a total land occupied by 0.67 hectares. Thus, seen from the area of land ownership of the cassava farmers, it is included in the criteria for low or narrow land ownership. It is less than 1 hectare with scattered location. Analysis of land use distribution for cassava agribusiness is presented in Table 1 in the next slide. Based on Table 1, it is known that the Gini ratio value of the cassava farming land is 0.144. This value indicates that the level of inequality of land tenure for cassava farming in each class is classified as very low because the Gini ratio value is less than 0.2. This means that the level of evenness of the cassava farming land is in the high category. The area of land cultivated by farmer for cassava agribusiness shows the ownership and area of arable land evenly but is classified as narrow land. The farmers with arable land more than 1 hectare and above 20% and 40% on land area of 0.5 to 0.9 hectare, and the rest have land with an area ranging from 0.2 to 0.4 hectare. The more details, the picture related to the evenness level of land tenure for cassava farmer can be seen in the next curve. This curve shows the degree of curvature that is not too that almost approaching the diagonal line. The diagonal line is a perfect evenness line. If the Lorenz lines of land tenure is getting closer to the line, it can be said that it is in the high level of evenness category, but with a narrow cassava agribusiness area. The land area affects the amount of cassava agribusiness income, and the distribution of cassava agribusiness income can be seen in the next table. Based on Table 2, it can be seen that the value of the Gini ratio in cassava agribusiness income is 0.255. This value is in the interval range of 0.2 to 0.35. This means that the level of income inequality in each class is categorized as low with a high level of evenness. This is influenced by the area of land that is owned. In this study shows very high evenness. If the cultivated land area tends to be the same between one farmer and another, then the income from farming on that land also tends to be the same at the same cultivation. In addition, the cost of cultivating cassava is not too big even for labor to rely on family members. To see the even position of cassava farming income, it can be seen in the following figure. So, the curve image which approaches the diagonal line indicates that the cassava agribusiness income is close to evenness or with a low level of inequality, or high equity with low income levels. This means that the land area and the cassava agribusiness income are parallel. If the land area is low, the income is low, and if the land area is high, the cassava agribusiness income is also high. The farm household get incomes from various sources, not only from the cassava agribusiness. The amount of total household income of cassava farmer varies depending on the number of sources of income and the size of each contribution of this source of income. The source of income for timber that farmer comes from on-farm or from non-cassava agribusiness, and from non-farm like trading, MSMEs, services, shipments of children's relative, etc. Analysis of the distribution of the total household income of cassava farmer can be seen in the next table. Based on the result of the analysis in the table 3, the Gini ratio value is 0.39 or 0.3994, and this value is included in the category of moderate level of inequality or moderate level of evenness, because the Gini ratio value is between the interval of 0.35 to 0.5. This can be due to additional income from each member of the farming family. Farmers as heads of families who run cassava agribusiness can also have side job outside of cassava farming. Therefore, the distribution of the total income of cassava farmer can differ greatly from one farmer to another. The result of the study showed that the income level varies between 1,052,500 rupiahs to 8,011,750 rupiahs. To ensure that the analysis, the data on the level of total household income of cassava is needed. The result of the study showed that the total household income of cassava farmer varies between 4 million and 445,000 rupiahs to 4,050,000 rupiahs. To understand the evenness or inequality position of the total income of cassava farmer, the following figure is presented. So, according to what is in the figure 3, the level of curvature of the Lorenz curve is more convex or away from the diagonal line. The curve that is away from the diagonal line indicates that the distribution of the total income of the cassava farmer is away from evenness. Even so, the degree of curvature of the curve is not the large, because the calculation of the Gini ratio is in the medium evenness category. The distribution of income moves increasingly unequal when the cassava farmer's household has an unequal addition income from non-farm income. It means that not all farmers have access to source of income outside of agriculture. When this happens, the farmers will remain in a position on agricultural land as their only source of income. Therefore, repressive action towards land will be higher to try to increase their income. This is what causes land damage, which is driven by increasing demand. If the carrying capacity of the land is not optimal, it can be done with production technology. If the land has a maximum carrying capacity, the tendency of land exploitation will take place and lead to land damage of degradation. So the conclusion of this research is the distribution of cassava agribusiness income is high evenly, but with a low level of income comes from the distribution of cassava agribusiness land area, which has an even distribution with a low land area with variation in the area of cassava agribusiness varying from 0.76 hectares to 0.85 hectares, while the distribution of the total household income of the cassava farmers tends to be moderate. This means that there is an indication that access of cassava farmer household to non-farm is limited. So, there is a tendency for expansion to more repressive land use and exploitation to increase their income, which leads to environmental damage to land or land degradation. And second, efforts to prevent are to encourage farmer independence to increasing the capacity of farmers, human resources in social empathy, a spirit of cooperation and appreciation for environmental knowledge and regional collective decision making, and a high level of accountability in cassava agribusiness management. Okay, thank you for the attention and opportunity. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.